Pep Talk UK, Pro Bs once again, and I'm delighted to be joined by Fina. How you doing?
I'm good, hanging in there, coping with everything that's going on in the world.
Yeah, for those who don't know, you used to co-promote Big Baby Jarrell Miller.
Well, I worked for his co-promoter, Greg Cohen. So I was the VP of operations for the company.
Okay, and how long were you doing that for?
I was with Greg for 6 years. And before that, I was with various other promoters.
Yeah, and I think the whole idea of the promotion company was to back Jarrell Miller to be the next heavyweight champion of the world. I mean, you put a lot of time and effort into that.
Yeah, it was our Super Bowl, right? And he just pissed in our Cheerios, didn't he?
Hey, you know what? It's crazy, man. With the news that floated about this week, I think it's hard for people to comprehend that, it could happen the first time in that blockbusting fight potentially with Anthony Joshua. And then for it to happen again
Right.
after the first time is crazy. I mean, what was your immediate reaction?
My immediate reaction was laughter, as it's kind of just unbelievable. I no longer work for Greg Cohen. He went to prison February 4th for wire fraud and left me in a really bad predicament. And, for me, it was just karma. The way Greg did me was something that you don't do to people that have been loyal to you for 6 years. So, I would love to be a fly on the wall of his cell right now.
Why? It was that bad, yeah?
I mean, he's banking on this. He was banking on Jarrell, that's the money ticket, that's the golden goose, there's no bigger fight than the heavyweight championship of the world, so he was banking on that. And for me, it's just like what goes around comes around.
Yeah. I mean, let's take it back to a year ago when Jarrell Miller was prepping to get ready for the biggest night of his life in MSG to fight Anthony Joshua for the unified titles. What was the whole mood before the fight from Jarrell? Did he seem himself? Did he seem like he was a bit nervous? Did he seem like...
you mean before he tested positive for PEDs? Or?
That's right, yeah. Did he seem a bit apprehensive, like he had to do a bit extra
he seemed super prepared and ready and confident. Super confident. He had me fooled. Like I really believed that he was going to beat Anthony. I really did. He seemed he had all the confidence in the world. And from what I saw in the past, Jarrell had the highest punch output from any heavyweight.
Yeah.
And I just felt like with Jarrell's pressure, I felt like he could beat Anthony. And then I had some inside information also because we had a fighter named Joey DeVecco in camp with Joshua who gave Joshua a concussion. So
yeah, there was a lot of rumors about that before the Ruiz.
It was true. It was true. Yeah. So I just knew that he wasn't going to be in his right mind, his right state, like Anthony wasn't going to be.
Because Anthony Joshua, I saw him before that fight doing some stuff with Meek Mill in Miami. And then he came to New York after to complete his camp. Was that right?
I wasn't aware of the Meek Mill thing, but yeah, I mean, I know Joey's from Philly, so I don't know, like I believe he went to camp over there in the UK. So
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I just know that Joey gave him a concussion, and that was the word on the street. So I kind of knew that Anthony wasn't going to be 100%.
Okay, so obviously Jarrell got wind of that, and he felt a little bit more confident in terms of the
I don't
Joshua
even
fight?
think Jarrell even got wind of it. You know what I mean? Like because we couldn't confirm it at the time, but like I knew for sure it was. So like I don't know if I think we did tell Jarrell, but I mean that was like literally right before he got popped.
Okay,
So it
okay.
didn't matter anyway.
Yeah. So look, you know, I was talking to Eddie Hearn the other day. I did an interview with Eddie Hearn, and he was saying that, look, based upon the news the other day, you know, he reckons that Jarrell was probably, you know, on PEDs the whole of his career, and there was a lot of rumors out there that that was the case. I mean, would you know about that?
I mean, I can't say yay or nay. I don't know if he was or not factually. Like, you know, of course I've heard things and I mean, but I've never actually seen it for myself. So I can't, you know, give a positive answer for that. But
Mm,
I mean, you know, the proof is in the pudding. Like if it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it must be a duck, right? Like how many chances is he gonna get? I don't know. Like he says he never did it.
mm,
You know, like it's just, is everybody just out to get him or something? No, I mean that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you were saying, like how could he be so stupid? And
mm,
that's the question that I ask myself. Like life gives you a second chance. Why would you throw it away like this? You know, it just
mm,
doesn't make sense to me. So either he is that stupid or he has some type of addiction or a mental health issue, you know, because uh, a lot of these guys, a lot of fighters, they come from the streets and they get into boxing because of the fact that they have anger issues or they need an outlet, ADHD or, you know, some type of anger issue, right? Like Devin Haney is a prime example. You
mm,
know, he was getting into trouble in school all the time and his father took him to the boxing gym and he just became a natural at it. But sometimes the boxing gym isn't always 100% the answer, right?
mm,
Like it's as if men, and especially men of color, have to portray this tough role, and it seems as if it's weak to seek some type of help, and it's not weak. In my opinion, it's just when you can admit that you're not okay, that's the strongest thing a man could ever do. You know, because those issues are going to come out in other ways, whether it's beating on your wife
mm,
or go get drugs and alcohol or PEDs or whatever it is that's going to make you feel better about your issues, you know, without talking them out. So I think that that is something that us as a boxing community, we really need to talk about, you know, because boxers do have a lot of issues. Like a lot of fighters do end up in domestic disputes and um, get on, you know, become alcoholics or, you know, have terrible spending habits or just all over the place. You know what I mean? And we need, like, it's like, okay, you give them this big bag of money and you don't guide them. You don't help them to deal with life in general, because it's not like they're a college athlete and they have, like, you know, agents and scouts and teams of people that are like making sure that they're good, you know,
mm.
outside of the ring. They're kind of just on their own, you know.
So,
You go
sorry,
ahead.
so to cut you, I just want to keep this thought. So, I think we talked off camera, and you mentioned how Jarrell and Greg Cohen they were banking on the Joshua fight to pay back some money. Would you said
Right.
on that assumption that Jarrell needed to take the PEDs to 100% guarantee that he could beat Anthony Joshua and
You
pay
know,
the money back?
I don't know, you know. I don't know what's going through his mind. You know what I mean? I don't know what makes him tick. I don't know what makes him do the things that he does. You know, I don't know if he's been on it every fight. I don't know if he's been on it one fight, two fights. You know, I don't know. I just don't have these answers. And it's frustrating to me to watch him go down this path, because I did care about Jarrell as a person. You know what I mean? I did care about him. I mean, he just kind of went missing on me when all the stuff happened with me. But, you know, I don't wish him bad. You know, I don't wish him harm. I just wish that he would get his life together, because he has a family that loves him. You know, he has a son, he has a wife, he has a mother that love him. You know, so he's a provider. So what are they to do now? You know, if he's banned for life, now how does he put food on the table? You know,
yeah.
and,
Well, I
and
remember.
what kind of like, you know, his son is now like, damn, dad, you know, like what is that for a son to look up to? You know, so
Yeah. I remember, you know, I think, look, I particularly was looking forward to the fight MSG with Joshua, because there seemed to be a lot of needle in the fight. There seemed to be a genuine dislike.
Right.
Jarrell is a hell of a wind-up and a hell of a trash talker, it seemed, the build-up. And Anthony Joshua's more cool, laid back. But for that fight, you can see he had the pump. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see he had the pump. So
Yeah.
that would have been explosive.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Jarrell, one thing that's great about Jarrell is that he's a great showman, right? Like, he talks a lot of trash. He puts on a good show at the weigh-ins, at the press conference. He's smashing tables and, you know, like, just.
When he said, I will not be dictated to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and he pushes Anthony and all that, talks a lot of shit.
Yeah.
You know, so he has a good build up, right? So it's like, damn, okay, like you're really starting to feel like they have a genuine dislike for each other. So, but yeah, it was such a letdown, man. Such a letdown.
You said okay, so you obviously was talking to Jarrell quite a bit. Did he really have an issue with Anthony Joshua before the first fight? Or was it just really for the cameras?
I really think it was for the cameras.
All right.
I really do. You know, because of the stuff that he was accusing him of, he got popped for. So it's like, how could you be mad at somebody that's doing it and you're doing it? You know, you can't be mad at him. You know, so but I mean, I think I got more slack from the whole shit than anybody did. You know,
you was proper ride or die for Jarrell Miller.
I mean, you know, that's what we're supposed to do. You know, what are we supposed to jump ship when, you know, when it starts sinking? Like, you know, when you lose a game on an NFL team, you don't say, oh, okay, time to go to another team. Like, no, like, you take the L together. You know, I wasn't making excuses for him. I just wanted him to get treated the same as everybody else did. You know, I felt like they were tearing him apart. Whereas, like, Canelo kind of got brushed under the rug. Tyson Fury, we blamed it on mental health, right? Billy Joe Saunders was like, you know, like, everybody else kind of like, you didn't really hear much about it. But Jarrell was like, ban him for life off the rip. Right? So I automatically jumped in front of him and said, hold on now. Like, you got to be fair across the board, you know, but he ended up getting only 6 months, which is nothing, for getting, you know, tested positive for 3 different substances, you know, not just 1, but 3. And I mean, they were like the Louis Vuitton of you know, banned substances, right? So
I see in a lot of the boxing forums, they were saying like he's literally a walking pharmacy, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there was just like, for me, when I spoke to him the first time and he just was like, oh, I got a shot in my elbow, and, you know, but it's like, okay, well, what are the other 2 for? You know, it's just like, I would have respected him more. And even this time, like, if you did it, bro, just say you fucking did it. Like, just say you did it. Like, you fucked up. That's it. You know, and then the other thing about, I watched his interview, and, you know, this time around he says he didn't do it. and, you know, he took a pill or he ingested something and his legal team's getting together or whatever. And if he didn't do it, then why is he saying that I'm just going to do I'll accept the suspension? Well, if you didn't do it, why would you accept the suspension? Like, I wouldn't accept a suspension if I know I didn't do something. I'm fighting it to the bitter end. I'm not accepting that. Are you kidding me? That's my life.
Yeah. I'm sure there was, obviously he signed with top rank, and I'm sure in the contract there must have been a lot of stipulations, you know, especially with his history in mind.
Had to be.
What do you know?
I really don't know the ins and outs of the contract. I didn't actually see it. I just knew his minimums and you know, fights per year, etc. But I wasn't aware of the stipulations in regards to PEDs. But I'm sure that, you know, he's let everybody down. He let Jay Prince down. He let Top Rank down. I'm sure Greg is pissed. And Dimitri's upset. You know, he has 3
promotions. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, plus a manager that doesn't play any games. Like, he's the one guy in boxing you never want to owe money to. Like, he has a notorious reputation. Like that, you don't want to owe Jay Prince. You know, you just don't want to owe Jay Prince.
Wow. But you know, you mentioned that Big Baby's a great trash talker, as an entertainer. We saw Tyson Fury go into the WWE to great effect, and I'm just kind of picturing in my mind Mark Henry, and I'm picturing, hold on, Big Baby. Maybe, you know,
maybe he has a career there.
Henry.
You know, maybe he has a career there.
Maybe Vince McMahon might give him a call.
Why not? Why not? Why not? It'd be perfect for him, and he could juice all he wants or do whatever he wants. You know, but you know, listen, I'm not here to bash him and you know, put him down or whatever. But at the end of the day, that shit is not tolerated. People are dying. You know, Zab Judah almost lost his life because, you know, there was a rumor that Selden was juicing. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's, you know, Patrick Day just lost his life. The other guy wasn't juicing, but this is a sport to where there is a significant chance of injury, whether it's right away or if it's going to affect you later on down the line in life. You know, so this isn't a sport to where any of that should be tolerated at all. You know, it's fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. The fact that boxing keeps allowing it to happen, that's a problem. That's a problem. And when these guys die, or they're later in life have, you know, some type of brain injury or brain damage or Alzheimer's or early onset dementia or whatever the case may be, Parkinson's, whatever, is boxing going to be there? They're going to pay some who's going to pay medical bills? Who's doing that? These guys don't have pensions and 401ks and fallback plans, and half of them don't even have medical insurance. This is not the sport for that. No sport should tolerate it, but especially not this one.
Yeah. So in your personal opinion, do you think he should not be given another chance? You think that should be it as an example?
Listen, if it's 100% yes, he did it, you know, and it comes out, there's no, I mean, it's hard for me to just go out here and put him on blast because that was my boy. But, you know, no, man, no. You know, you shouldn't be able to fight again. You shouldn't be able to fight again because you intentionally put somebody's life in danger, you
Mm.
know, for you to have the upper hand.
Mm.
You know, you intentionally took a child's father away from them, or somebody's son or daughter or whoever, you know what I mean? Like there's no getting that back.
Mm. Wow. Hey, you know what? It's been yeah, very interesting catching up with you. Yeah, and hopefully, look, you'll be over here doing some bits and bobs. You know, maybe
I
selling
hope
some of
so,
your
man.
paintings
I
over
got a
here.
few tricks up my sleeve, so we'll
Yeah,
see.
you come in you come in London. You come in London
Yeah,
in the
man. You know,
future.
and shout out to Eddie, man, for kind of like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know, he kind of had my back a little bit in his interview recently, when he was just kind of explaining to the fans, like, you know, as a promoter, look, we got to stand by our fighters, you know, like how he did with Dillian, you know, and you know, he said Sarah was spot on when I said, you know, maybe Big Baby lacks confidence. So shout out to Eddie for you know, giving me my props on that,
Oh,
because for a
one
second there I thought Eddie didn't like me.
one thing before you go, Tyson Fury, right? He
Hmm.
mentioned a while ago that he had put Big Baby down several times. To your knowledge, did that happen
Yeah,
in
I don't
sparring?
know for sure. I can't say
Yeah.
for sure if it happened or not, because I believe none of what I hear and half of what I see, especially in boxing,
Hmm.
because people talk, like they'll talk about sparring sessions like it was a real fight. Like I don't know what happened in sparring. You know what I mean? So I
Hmm.
can't say for sure. I don't
Did,
know for sure.
did anyone sort of give you the heads up on that and say, well, it did happen or didn't?
Not really. Nobody of any
Not
like
really. Yeah, yeah.
significance. Like nobody that matters. Like nobody that I know that was actually there. You
Hmm.
know. So it's just all hearsay. So
Um,
I can't confirm that or not.
okay. And look, on a positive note, I mean, just your general opinion of the top heavyweights, who do you rate as the outstanding guy at the moment at the top of the tree?
Right now, I say Tyson Fury.
Hmm.
I say Tyson Fury. I mean, his boxing ability is insane. You know, and he doesn't fight like anybody else, so it's very difficult to train for him.
Hmm.
You know, he's very herky jerky. You know, he has great boxing ability, and we found out clearly he can crack.
Hmm.
So I think he's a problem. I mean, everybody has their reign. You know, I think Deontay will be back. You know, I don't count him out. I think AJ's second.
Hmm.
You know, I would love to see Fury and AJ. That'd be an awesome fight.
What did you think of Deontay Wilder's video the other day, the dancing?
I mean, you know, that he's with his family, he's
Hmm.
clowning around. You know, I don't. You know, that's him. He's being funny. Like, let that man live his life. You know, he's enjoying his money. Let him enjoy his hard-earned cash. You know what I mean? I don't care if he dances butt naked in the middle of Times Square. It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't change my life at all. You know, he still didn't get popped for PEDs though, did he? So, hey, listen,
Hey,
God bless him.
hey, well, you know, Sarah, it's been a good time to catch up, and I'd like to also as well shout out the people of Brooklyn,
Yeah, Brooklyn in the house,
home of Biggie
baby.
Smalls, Mano, Jay-Z, etc.,
Zeb,
etc.
Judas, Shannon, Briggs, Riddick, Bo, Mike Tyson, and the list goes on. Danny Jacobs.
There you know what we say in London? Cheese. That's what we say in London.
We say you're.
All right, I gotta learn that. I gotta learn that one. Hey, Sarah, it's been a pleasure. Yeah. All the best to you.
Likewise, likewise. Always a pleasure.
Take
Take
care.
care.
Pep
Peace.
Talk. Take
Peace.
care. Subscribe. Thank you.